Once upon a time, an enormous organization tried to sue me. They tried to bully me out of business. But in a classic David versus Goliath fight, I emerged victorious. Today, I want to talk to you about the importance of a defensive and a proactive intellectual property strategy for your e-commerce business. Because of course, this is the series where I give you a tip that you can apply to your e-commerce business to help you move it forward. No snake oil, no black hat, just solid, been there, done that advice. I'm Ben Leonard, and I built, scaled, and sold an international 7-figure e-commerce business. This is Ecom Made Easy. A few years ago, I developed a product for my fitness brand Beast Gear. I came up with the general design, and I worked with a professional designer to make that a reality. Then I used the services of a reputable intellectual property IP firm who took my product's drawings and used them as the basis of a design registration, which was filed in all the countries where I was selling my product. Now, a quick note, a registered design protects the appearance of something, whereas a patent protects the functionality or how something works. In the case of this product, the functionality was not novel, it was already in the public domain, and I couldn't and didn't need to patent it. So I protected it with a registered design. Anyway, my product was awesome, it was better than everything else in this space, and I sold it at a fair price, unlike the market leader. Soon my product became the most popular product in the space. The previous market leader, which was owned by an enormous organization, was forced to drop their price, but they still couldn't keep up with me. So they resorted to some underhand tactics. First, they had my product suspended on Amazon by simply writing to Amazon and alleging that my product infringed their registered design. Now, unfortunately, Amazon tends to shoot first and ask questions later, so they immediately suspended my product without really any evidence whatsoever. Then, this competitor sent me threatening letters, telling me that I had to pay them tens of thousands of dollars and stop selling my product immediately. And they did all this in German, despite the fact that they were a Canadian firm, knowing that I'm not German and I don't speak German. Why German? Because one of the markets I was selling in happened to be Germany. They were using every trick in the book to make my life as difficult as possible and make the situation as scary as possible. Clearly, they had done this before. No wonder there were no other competitors in this space. They'd all been bullied out of business. So what did I do? Well, remember when I said I used a reputable IP attorney to register my design? Well, I went back to this same IP attorney to find out what to do next. We took our time, or rather my attorney took her time, to patiently and carefully look at all the evidence. We didn't rush back to Amazon and bang out an email saying, please reinstate me. We waited a few weeks while we got ourselves together, and my product was suspended the whole time. But here's what we found. Number one, my product, of course, did not infringe this competitor's registered design. We knew that already. This was a lie. Number two, their own registered design, which was a set of pretty terrible drawings, didn't actually protect their own product, which was really interesting. So we politely wrote back to them and we said, 1, have Amazon reinstate my product, please. 2, pay my legal fees and reimburse me for the revenue that I lost while my product was suspended. And 3, leave me alone or I'll go to court and have your own registered design invalidated. Now, needless to say, they left me alone, but sadly they didn't pay my legal fees or reimburse me for the lost revenue. My product has since gone from strength to strength and is now the leader in this space, which is great. But what's the lesson for you here, right? What's the tip that you can apply to your e-commerce business to help you move it forward? Well, here it is, write it down. You need a proactive and defensive intellectual property strategy from the get-go. You need to protect your designs with design registrations and patents if that's applicable, and you need to trademark your brand names and your product names. And you need to use a professional to do all this. Do not, please do not try to do this yourself. I see it all the time in the Facebook groups. People say, my attorneys quoted me this much money for my trademark, it seems like too much, what shall I do? And people reply and say, oh, you can do it yourself for a few £100 or a few $100. Do not do that. You can do it yourself. You will get a trademark, but it's very likely to not be right and not be the full scope of protection that you need because you're not a professional attorney. Concentrate on what you do best and get a professional in to protect you properly. Please do that. I hope that was helpful. Please subscribe to my channel and you can get more at www.benleonard.pro. Cheers.